Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Live. Here it is on Monday again. Almost done with July and getting pretty hot and dry. Things are starting to shrivel up. Yesterday morning I just didn't have anything to say, so I didn't took a little break, and so we're back today. And the Tolle quote for today, let me get right into this, and then we can see where it takes us. It's short. True change happens within, not without. True change happens within, not without. Find the now within. Everybody you come in contact with will be touched by your presence and affected by the peace that you emanate, whether they are conscious of it or not. So he's basically saying here, if you want true change, find the now within. Everybody you come in contact with will be touched by your presence and affected by the peace that you emanate, whether they are conscious of it or not. Okay. Well, yesterday, and I talked about this last night, so I don't know if those of you who tune into my martini time also come in during the morning. But even so, yesterday afternoon I went over to a gallery showing in Cambridge of the works of Eldridge Bagley, who is a local landscape painter who has been painting here since the 80s, of the nostalgic family life of tobacco farming in this area. And this painting here was one I had on my computer, so I coughed it up. And as you can see, I find it very Zen-like, his paintings, and particularly this one, in that there is no boundaries here between the human family and nature, and nature is just flowing softly. His paintings are so soft, and they really portray or capture presence. And the presence that Tolle is talking about. So in this talk today, we're going to look at this art here as an expression of finding the now within. So what Eldridge Bagley has led a very simple life. He grew up on a tobacco farm in Cambridge and stayed right there and began painting. And he discovered his voice. He discovered his brush as landscape painting. He tried a few alternate paths, but they were like suckers on a tobacco plant, and he cut them off. And so he's just been cranking out maybe 20 paintings a year. He sells the originals and then sells prints. And he's made a very good living just being who he is, and just staying in contact with the ground and with the earth and with the mix. So what he does really is he's an alchemist. He's an alchemist, and most artists are. Art is alchemy. He takes the base metal of what the everyday world that he sees, the same world we see, going to work every day, the same town, the same boring, everyday world that is not interesting or exciting because we see it every day. So we just go through it. We just pass through it as if it's a nice place to pass through, but I don't want to live there. You see? So Eldridge lives there in the sense that the now is, when Tolle's talking about the now, find the now within. Well, the now, this is a little ironic statement here. And I know what Tolle's saying, find the now within. But the now is neither in nor out. The now is where the in and the out meet as one. The now is not in or out. The now is a creative meeting of the in and the out. Now, what is the in and the out? But the in is you as a consciousness. You are in your head, feels like that. You're in you looking at me. Or looking at your computer screen, you see. And then if you look around, or you look at the room you're in, or you look at your hand, or you look at the ceiling, or you look at the floor, or you go outside and you look at the street, or whatever you're looking at, that's out. And there's an in looking. So there's an in who's looking, and there's an out that is being seen. So when you say, well, find the now within, what that really, when you break it down, is that you can't exclude the out in order to find the in, because when you're looking in, that becomes the out. Whatever you're looking at is the out. If you look within, now the in is out. Who is looking? Who is looking is always the in. That can never be an out. So this is free. This is it's kind of like pulling. If you pull turn a glove inside out, there's still an inside and an outside. You take this cup, you see, there's an inside and an outside, but you can't drink from the inside or the outside. You drink from the cup that is both inside and outside simultaneously. So the cup is a metaphor for the now. That is the one that includes the in and the out. You get the idea? If you try to separate it, say, well, I got to find the now within, so it's just in here. Let me find it here. If I just had the in, I couldn't drink the coffee. So the out holds the in, and the in makes the out useful. You see, so you can't separate them. Yet they are two, and I think that's the mystery here, is that the now is the collapse of the in and the out. So it is one, yet it is still two. It is one, yet it's one, yet it's still two, you see. But we, in our search for the in, the now, the change that happens within, in our search for the in our trying to be in our trying to be now, actually divides the out from the in. Actually divides the out from the in. So the seeking of the now actually is like trying to catch a feather with your breath. Come to me. The feather goes, come to me. Come to me, you see. I want you. Oop. So the seeking of the now creates that which we're seeking. So Aldrich's painting, looking at it from this point of view, is that the painting is saying, here I am. I stop my seeking. There is no place I can go, nothing I can do that will make me better, this moment, better than it is now. There is no place I can go, or nothing I can do, or nothing I can learn, nothing I can acquire that will make this moment, this now, better than it is. So I am now, you are now, you are always now. We are always now. From the moment we're born to the moment we die, and even after that, there is just now. So we're now even before the Big Bang. The now cannot be seen, perceived, because once whatever you perceive is out and you're in. So the now is not experienced, but you can be now. So if you experience now, basically you're saying, when you dissect it, I'm experiencing now. No, you are having an experience of something. So you're still the in and the experience is out. You see, so no matter what we do in consciousness, there is an in and an out. There's always an experiencer having an experiencer, or a seer seeing something, or a subject with an object, or an inside with an outside, you see. They are two. This is duality. This is the phenomenal world. This is existence. Phenomenal world. The world of objects. Chairs, lamps, pictures, rooms, objects, you see. It's all manifested as two. The experiencer and the experience, you see. But the now is neither one. So, getting back to my old favorite, my old Gestalt picture of the old woman and the young woman. The old woman is the exterior world I see. The young woman is the seer, is the subject, is the me. There's the inside of the cup and the outside of the cup. But the now is both, you see. The now is both. So you can't really experience the now as I'm having an experience of now, because the experiencer is not included. So this whole thing with language, everything really gets us into problem, because the very language we use breaks everything down into subject and object. Our thinking breaks everything down into a subject and an object. Our language breaks everything down into nouns, doing things to other nouns, you see. So just the way we think about the world, which is the way we experience the world, the way we give meaning to it is through our thinking. So the way we give meaning to the world breaks it into an in and an out. You see. So this now that Tolle's talking about, the find the now within, is not a place, is not something that's in instead of being out. So the now is when you surrender seeking the now. And that's art. So there's in other words, when you surrender to being, you're not trying to get outside of being into a better moment. There's no more time. There's no future in the now. So being now is having no future. Being now is not having an idea of a better moment, or restoring anything, or getting something, you see. So the now holds time. The now is prior to time, in that we are all now thinking about time. So we're thinking about time. How long is this talk going to last? You see, or or am I doing it okay? Or, oh my God, I'm feeling a little embarrassed, self-conscious now. I don't know what to say next. And all that, you see. Basically, everything is the now creating this moment that we experience as an in and an out. So the now is creating us as a cup with an inside and an out, you see. So the now is prior to the inside and the out, and yet there is still the inside and the out. There is one, yet it is two. The one is divided. The one is And this is the mystical meaning of now. The mystical meaning, because it's illogical. It's incomprehensible. How can two be one yet still be two? So the now is the collapse of duality. The now is the collapse of the inside and the out into just being here. And we all experience this when we have moments in which we just jump in, like we just go to a wedding reception and just jump into the music. Or the wedding ceremony itself. When the bride and the groom, I used to be a wedding photographer, and so you have the 3 stages. I don't know, I hadn't planned on talking about this, but there's 3 stages of the wedding. There's the nervous anxiety, fear of the preparation. Oh, is everything right? Or what's going to happen? Oh my God, I'm going to change. My life will never be the same. I want to do it. I'm afraid of doing it. Oh, where's the flowers? All of this tension, nervousness. And then there's the ceremony. And there's a surrender to the ceremony, to the vow, to the transformation. The ceremony is kind of like a fire in which the 2 individuals are burning up their separateness. So there is a death of being separate and a birth of being 2. The 2 become 1, but they're still 2. You see, the marriage ceremony is a transformative alchemy in which the base metal of 2 become 1. And yet they still remain 2. So they are 1 that is 2, 2 that is 1. So this is a dynamic unity. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. This is not, we think of everything as a noun, which is static. So there's, like this room is one room. Okay, well that's a static thing. I don't see it as a dynamic. I can't see all of the molecules and atoms and everything changing in this room. This room is alive. But because it's happening, if I filmed this room with a camera, a time-relapse camera, maybe of 200 years, I would watch in just a few minutes the whole room just decay. It would be moving. We do it with flowers. You take time-release thing with flowers in the earth. I saw one the other day about, in the Amazon or someplace in the jungle, and you could see the whole jungle just rising and falling and rising and falling like a breathing, living thing, But when you walk in and look at it, it looks like it's all one. It looks steady and stable, you see. But everything is changing. And so this is a dynamic unity. So the 2 that's 1 is a dynamic unity. So Eldridge Bagley's painting as art, you see. Art captures the dynamic unity and holds it so you can engage it, so you can enter into the art and discover the now that the artist discovered in his art. You are able to relate to the now through the medium of the art that is actually the now of the artist, held in time, like a time release, or like a capsule that you open up. You see, so the now that we're struggling to define is dynamic. So it requires your participation in order for the now to be known. It requires our death. In other words, we have to die into the moment in order for the moment to be alive as us. So in order to be, so the now is a living, dynamic energy that cannot be known as long as we're outside looking for it. But when we give up the looking for it and just be who we are, just be where we are, without any effort to be different, without any effort to know more, when we give up all effort, we become just now. And that now is creative and alive and vibrant, you see. So what are these paintings then but this art, and this is any good art, is basically a manifestation of an artist's being now. So he is being present in his art. He's surrendering to the art. The art captures that surrender and preserves it. So it becomes a Eucharist. It becomes a communion. So when you engage or enter into the artist is saying, this moment is my body, this moment is my blood. This painting is my body, this painting is my blood. Eat it and remember, not me, but remember you. Because we are all now. Forever and ever. You see, we're all now. So these paintings, art then, I consider to be like the Eucharist, in that the artist is holding out his art and saying, this is the now. The now is my body, my blood. And I really think that was the meaning of what Jesus was talking about when he said, this is my body, this is my blood. The earth and the wine, or the bread and the wine, is now. So now is my body and my blood. I am now. You see. And now is now. Now is always now. So Christ is really saying, this moment now is your body and your blood. Remember that. Not in the past, but remember the now, you see. Because you're always that. In that, thou art that, is the one that is also two. So anyway, I hope this has thoroughly confused everybody. And I think so we're getting back to Tolle, see, getting back in the line, true change happens within, not without. So true change, life is true change. The now is true change. Buddha says everything is impermanent. Physics says that. Everything is impermanent. Everything is energy. Einstein, came up with the formula that equated matter with energy. Everything is energy manifesting as matter. So energy is changing. Energy is a wave. So getting in touch with the energy of now is to surrender to it. Let go. Relax. You're okay. You see. So that's, so everything. Be now, be now, be now, be now, be now. So this finding the now within is basically finding the now as now, which includes the out and the in. So the now is transcendent of the in and the out. And that's why we can't see it, experience it, because it's transcendent of experience. See, you don't have an experience of now because the experience of now is something you are experiencing. But that doesn't include the experiencer and the experienced. When the now happens, You're not there. You're not there thinking, how long is this experience going to last? Or it should be better. Or I had a better one. I'll have a better one tomorrow, you see. That thinker, that experiencer is not there when the now manifests, when the present moment manifests, you see. You are the present moment. And an artist, when he is really engaged in his art, is just letting the art inform him as he informs the art. The art is painting him as he paints the art, you see. And when he's really present, the art captures that presence, like an ice cube captures water, you see. So this whole idea of finding the now within is correct, but it's not correct. So then he goes on to say, when everybody comes in contact with you, will be touched by your presence, you see, and the peace, whether you are conscious of it or not. So when I go talk to Eldridge Bagley yesterday, I hadn't seen him for a year or two, and he's always the same Eldridge. The world does not. He's older. He's in his early 70s. He's always exactly the same. And he's always present, always smiling, always engaging, you know, and you feel good. You feel good when you talk to somebody and you meet somebody who has presence, who is now, you see. Whether you're conscious of it or not, you feel it. And that's what the now is. The now is, you can feel the now. You can't perceive it with your conscious mind. You feel it with the heart. So the now is life presence that you feel, whether you are conscious of it or not, you see. But you feel it. And when we feel something, it's real. That's what makes something real. I feel it. I feel good about it. I feel real. That feels real to me. The feeling. What is the feeling, you see? The feeling is the heart. The feeling is life. Life feels. Now feels. The now is a feeling presence that transcends visual seeing of subject and object, you see, of the mind. Mind is dual, heart is one. Mind's looking for now, heart feels now. So this surrender, all of these teaching is talking about, basically, is letting go of the mind's search in time. Mind is time, heart is timeless. Anyway, so let's stop there. I'm trying to keep my talks in line with at least 30 minutes. And so I'll see you at martini time this evening.